Now here's the last point that goes to messaging. The other side says, well, there are not enough private schools available for all of these kids to go to. All right. What I've often seen, what I've seen in these debates, I have not seen those who support choice be able to say, well, in this particular city, we have 78 private schools available. We've done the research, and there's an availability of some 1,500 slots. Our particular program, pilot program, will cover 1,000 students. Slots are available. Whole different kind of messaging going on. And so when you have these sort of generic conversations, it's easy to lose. The key to messaging or winning this particular battle is breaking down each one of those arguments, anticipating what they're actually saying, and being able to flip the script. We were talking, I think, in Detroit, we were talking, and it was saying, Secretary Page was talking about gentlemen came to the Detroit School Board meeting. They were already ready for him. Some 250 people there saying, don't change the system. One of the worst in the country. You do it the exact same way. You turn to them in the messaging and begin to say to the parents, is your kid passing? What's the failure rate of your particular child's school? Or what school does your child go to? And that parent will likely tell you. When you have your stuff together, you begin to turn and say, well, according to the data, the failure rate of your child's school is 87%. So, ma'am, do you appreciate 87%? All of a sudden, changes the conversation. In order to win this battle, and I can tell you right now, we see it every day in the political area, you may have a great argument. It may be the moral imperative. It may make absolute sense to every logical thinking person in the world. But if you lose the message war, you lose the battle. And I can tell you, and Secretary Hill tell you, he saw it with President Bush, we've seen it with President Obama, that they will lose many political battles because the messaging failed. The message model here is very simple. I need to get the parents, I need to get the children. All of a sudden, once I get them, now I can go up the food chain to begin to break down and attack the city governments and the state governments and the federal government. But without that sophisticated messaging where you're talking in clear, concise ways to the average person, you will not be able to be successful. I'm going to close with this. I'm going to close on this, and this also goes back to in terms of a tactic and all deals with messaging. I had an official the other day from a civil rights organization. When I told her I was speaking here, and she said, well, my child goes to this private school, and it's $30,000 a year. These vouchers aren't $30,000 a year. And I said, well, if somebody has a voucher, they're probably going to find a cheaper school than $30,000 a year. And so, again, understand how easy it is. The tactic of those opposing choice will take the highest cost of a school and use that against you to say, oh, even if you give a voucher out, it's not going to cover the entire tuition. But that's why I go back to when you have your own data to say, wait a minute, the average cost of private schools in this particular city is X amount of dollars. We base that, if there's a voucher program here, the voucher may very well be $6,000, $7,000, whatever the particular number is, so the parent will actually probably have to spend X amount of dollars or might cover the entire tuition. You're rebutting the argument with a level of facts that they are not expecting. They are always going to choose the highest number. But here's the other piece. You can then say, do your kid go to a private college or a public university? Every public university doesn't charge what Harvard charges, every private one. And so again, it's taking the person's argument and breaking it down to your benefit to being able to throw it right back at them and then force them to defend their ridiculous logic. And that's just one of the things I also think has to happen in this whole dialogue. All right? I appreciate it.